Hello, here is a short talk about the writer Isaac Peretz leading to his duologue, To Pray or Not to Pray. The Jewish writer Isaac Peretz was born in 1852 in Poland. He was a popular writer in Poland, writing stories and plays in Yiddish and Hebrew. He also wrote essays of social criticism. Some of his work was translated into English. This included a play he wrote in 1907, which was made into a musical in America in 2007. It was called At Night in the Old Marketplace. Peretz's parents were very Orthodox Jews, but Peretz himself held more liberal views. Peretz was very much interested in religion and philosophy, and he began to question his parents' Orthodox faith. Orthodox Jews were not allowed to question their religion. Everything in the religion had to be accepted without argument. Peretz did not share this view. Other great religions, as well as Judaism, have always been questioned by people who were not entirely satisfied with dogmatic religion. In 16th century Germany, the Catholic Church was harshly criticized by Martin Luther. He was a monk who fell in love with a nun and eventually married her. Martin Luther's influence spread throughout Europe. Isaac Peretz's influence was not on the same scale as Martin Luther's influence. In Peretz's time in 19th century Poland, the Jewish religion was especially strict. Anybody who questioned any aspect of the religion could no longer be part of the community. If people had any questions, they kept them to themselves. There was, however, a movement known as the Jewish Enlightenment. This movement did not fully accept traditional Judaism. Peretz was part of this movement, and some of his writings show this new, questioning attitude. Peretz wrote a duologue which reflected the ideas of the Jewish Enlightenment. The duologue is between father and son in 19th century Poland. The father represents traditional Jewish orthodoxy. The son has been away from home studying to be a doctor. He has not lived the narrow life that his father has lived. His outlook has changed, and he no longer completely agrees with his father's views. The happy day came at last for Berel the tailor when his son, the doctor, was coming home for good. His son would build up a practice in his hometown. People would need treatment. In short, there was nothing to worry about. His son arrived on Friday, and on the Sabbath, his father asked him to go along with him to the synagogue. "I'm not going, Papa," said the doctor. "You're not ashamed to be seen with me, are you, son?" "God forbid, Papa. What an idea!" "Still, even if you are a doctor, do you think you no longer have to pray and praise God?" "It's not that, Papa." "What then? Tell me. Are you tired, maybe? Are you sick, God forbid?" "No, Papa. I'm just not going." "I'm curious to know why." "Then sit down, Papa, and I'll tell you why." The old man put down his prayer shawl and sat down. "Well, go ahead and tell me." "Good. Try to imagine, Papa, that you're a rich man, so rich that a ruble has little value for you." His father heaved a sigh. In order to make his son a doctor, he had run himself into debt up to his ears. Once upon a time, he had owned a little house, but now, no more house. Even his sewing machine he had sold. Now, he was a lodger, living among strangers. His father looked up. Well, in short, Papa, you're a rich man. Imagine that across the way from you there lives a widow, a weak, sick woman with small children, and she needs help. His father looked up. I'd help her, of course. Now, tell me, Papa, would you hold back until the widow came around to you, begging for help, swooning and weeping? His father looked upset. God forbid. What for? Good, said his son. Now, take God. Tell me, is he better or worse than you? What a question to ask. All right, since God is better than you, doesn't he himself know what poor, weak people need? Do you think he waits for us to beg him for help? Or perhaps you think that we ought to praise God anyway. How would you like it, Papa, if someone praised you to your face? Ah, what a wonderful tailor! His father shook his head. Ach, it would make me sick with embarrassment. Right, that's because you're no fool, Papa. You couldn't find pleasure in silly praise. A good God, a fine God, who has created heaven and earth. What do you think? He doesn't know that himself? The old man fell into deep thought. Then he spoke. True, everything you say, my son, is true. But all the same, you still have to pray, don't you? Peretz ends the duologue with the father's question, you still have to pray, don't you? Apparently, the son does not answer or cannot answer his father's question. This illustrates the perpetual problem between faith and reason. Reason may say one thing, but faith has an emotional effect which often contradicts reason. The French philosopher Blaise Pascal sums up the dilemma in the saying, "The heart has its reasons, which reason knows not." Alfred Lord Tennyson wrote in his poem, The Death of King Arthur, "More things are wrought by prayer than this world dreams of." Many people will have this hope and agree with the old man's wish to pray. People need inspiration such as prayer.